Now, we all know and we all heard about the unfortunate disadvantages of sugar, and we all love sugar, right? Unfortunately, the bitter side of sugar is that, as I mentioned in previous videos and showed you some of the studies, sugar is pro-inflammatory, which it might increase your levels of inflammation, which is a bad news for anybody that have joint pain, discomfort, have an autoimmune condition, diabetes, right? Even brain conditions like Alzheimer's, dementia, or Parkinson's, eating sugar, consumption of sugar can, unfortunately, might agitate those conditions because over the long term, sugar is inflammatory. Sugar also turns our insulin reaction, so it puts a lot of stress on our body. When we're looking at eating sweets, and I love eating sweets, without the side effects of sugar, this is where this video is going to help you to understand what are the 3 safest and healthiest sugar substitutes that are in the market right now. So let's dive into it. The first one and the most helpful is stevia. Stevia is basically it's derived from a plant, so it's extracted from a plant. It's been used to sweeten beverages and making tea since the 16th century. You can actually put the stevia leaves in your tea. You can use the powder. You can use liquids. It is about 200 to 300 times more sweeter than sugar. So typically when I'll use stevia in my drinks, I'll put like a tiny little spoon in there, and that will taste as sweet as a full teaspoon of sugar, right? The reason we really like to use stevia, it's because it's completely natural. It's coming from a plant. It doesn't affect your sugar levels in your blood, right? So it's great for diabetic patients. You can use it for your coffee, your tea, your cooking, when you bake. It also has 0 calories, which is great because you can use it when you bake cookies and eliminate those extra calories that you typically get from sugar. You can add it to your drinks, right? And it's just a really good substitute. Now, when I looked and I used to guide my clients and patients to replace sugar with stevia, there are 2 issues that I used to find. One is commercial products that says stevia on them in the supermarkets will sometimes have maltodextrin. Now, maltodextrin is a white powder that looks like stevia, and it's really cheap form of sugar that can actually elevate your sugar level really fast. It's absorbable, it's highly absorbable, it is very stressful for the body, very unhealthy to consume maltodextrin. So some companies will mix maltodextrin together with stevia just because it makes the product much cheaper to create, right? So when you buy stevia, turn the product around and look at the ingredients. It should just say stevia, nothing else, just stevia, right? That's how you know that you're getting the real thing and the real health benefits of that plant. The second thing is some patients, like my mother, some people like my mother, they don't like the taste of stevia. They say that it's got a little aftertaste afterwards. I've never noticed it, and a lot of people around me that use it haven't noticed it. But if you have noticed it, try a different company or try the next substitute that I'm going to be talking about right now. So the next one is xylitol, and xylitol is basically a natural occurring alcohol sugar that is found in plants. So it's extracted from plants. It looks like a white powder. Nice thing about xylitol is that it's safe. It doesn't significantly affect your blood glucose levels or insulin. It might protect your teeth from some harmful bacteria because it reduces the amounts of bacteria in your mouth that can harm your teeth, your enamel. Some commercial toothbrushes or natural toothbrushes will have now xylitol because it makes it sweeter and it can actually reduces the risk of cavities and all of that. Now, some people, the downside to xylitol is that some people might get gas, bloating, or diarrhea if they consume too much of xylitol. So make sure that when you're trying it, don't try too much at first because you want to make sure that you kind of give a little bit to your body and see how your body reacts. It is very, very similar to stevia. You can find it in a powder form, and you can use it for sweetening your drinks, you can use it for cooking, you can use it for baking. So really, really simple. And the third sugar substitute is erythritol. Now, erythritol is derived from cornstarch. So basically, they extracted from corn, and it looks like a white powder. Erythritol is derived from cornstarch, as I mentioned. It's generally crafted from GMO, which is genetically modified organisms, cornstarch. It is important to remember that it is excreted in urine since we don't have that enzyme to break it down. So it's really, really interesting. Erythritol, the advantage of it is that it doesn't really bring more calories into our body because we can't actually break it down. It is absorbed from our gut into our bloodstream, and then from there we just urinate it out, right? So we get that sweet feeling, but our body is just excreting it out. So it doesn't affect your sugar levels in your blood. It has 0 calories. So those are the these are the advantages of erythritol. Now let's talk about a few things to watch out when you actually buy an erythritol. Some companies, I would say even most companies, just my own personal observation, will use erythritol from genetically modified cornstarch. So what does that mean? That means that corn, the seeds of the corns, basically were genetically modified to include insecticides to kill bugs. It's considered by some studies to be toxic, associated with high risk of cancer and inflammatory diseases. In order to prevent putting in your body a molecule that contains insecticides or the DNA of insecticides, we recommend to buy non-GMO or organic. Especially when you buy erythritol or corn, those are highly modified, genetically modified in the United States. According to some sources, about 80% of the corn in the United States is actually genetically modified. And that's a very strange protein to our body. That's a very foreign protein. This is not the corn that our grandfathers used to eat. This is like a whole different thing that our body might not recognize, and that might cause problems. What about honey, maple, agave, and yacon syrup and coconut sugar, right? Sometimes patients will ask me, well, what about honey? I like to sweeten my tea with honey, or I like to use it for my cookies. And so remember that while those substitutes are healthier than sugar, honey has some additional small amounts of nutrients, and for example, Manuka honey was found to help with some inflammation or harmful bacteria. For example, remember that all of them still have calories, right, that are coming from the sugar that is in them, right? In your body, once you consume honey or maple or agave or coconut sugar, your body just turns those into sugar. It just breaks them down into sugar. It elevates your sugar levels, elevates your insulin. It's very stressful for your body. It might increase the risk of weight gain, of several diseases. So what I typically tell patients is use stevia or xylitol or erythritol. If you want to have that sweet flavor in your baking or your cooking of honey, you can just add a little bit of honey just for that flavor, right? For that extra flavor. But using very, very small amounts, they still have the disadvantage of our body just turns them into sugar. So to summarize it, the 3 healthy substitutes to sugar are stevia, xylitol, and erythritol. My first go-to would be stevia, because stevia, it's a plant that was found to be safe and tolerable by most people. And you can buy it in the natural stores, you can buy it online on Amazon. Just make sure that these products that you're buying do not have hidden sugar like maltodextrin or dextrose, which is just other names for sugar. So remember that what you put in your body really matters in terms of your health, in terms of how you feel, in terms of your function. So hopefully you like this video. I'm Tal Cohen, and our mission is to help you to transform your health and help you to transform other people's health. So until next video, feel free to share, like this video with others, help our mission to help as many people as we possibly can. Thanks for watching and take care. Thank you for watching. If you find this video helpful, please like, comment, and subscribe to help us to create more content and bring it to you. You're also invited to watch our other videos by clicking here. And if you're interested in learning more about functional and nutritional medicine, check out our programs in the link in the description below.